Why has the Brandenburg Gate been so unfortunate? In Germany's capital, Berlin, there stands a grand gate called the Brandenburg Gate. It is a symbol of Germany, attracting countless tourists every day. The Brandenburg Gate was built to celebrate the unification of the German Empire, but ironically, just a few years later, Germany faced repeated divisions, and the gate itself seemed to be plagued with misfortune. The Prussian king, Frederick William II, ordered the construction of a majestic classical gate leading to Brandenburg, hence the name Brandenburg Gate. The renowned German architect Karl Gotthard Langhans designed it as a multi-columned triumphal arch in the style of ancient Greek colonnades. A grand structure alone wasn't enough to make a statement, so the famous sculptor Johann Gottfried Schadow created a bronze sculpture to crown the top of the gate. It featured 4 spirited horses pulling a 2-wheeled chariot driven by a winged goddess of peace, holding a staff adorned with a laurel wreath, and at the top of the staff was a soaring eagle. This sculpture added to the gate's imposing aura. The Germans were very proud of the Brandenburg Gate, and it caught the eye of Napoleon. In 1806, during the Napoleonic Wars, as Napoleon led the French army past the Brandenburg Gate, he couldn't help but exclaim, "How could the Germans have such a splendid building?" Envious, he ordered the goddess statue to be dismantled and taken to Paris as a war trophy. The Germans were outraged but could do nothing. Fortunately, 8 years later, the anti-French coalition defeated Napoleon at Waterloo, and the Prussians reclaimed the statue, placing it back atop the Brandenburg Gate. German sculptor Friedrich Schinkel added an iron cross, symbolizing victory, to the laurel wreath held by the goddess. "Now, victory will favor us forever," the Germans said joyfully. Thus, the goddess of peace became the goddess of victory, and the Brandenburg Gate became a symbol of triumph. However, in the latter part of World War II, as the German military faced devastating defeats, the Soviet Red Army severely damaged the Brandenburg Gate during their assault on Germany, leaving the sculpture in ruins. In 1945, Berlin fell to the Allied forces, the German Empire was dissolved, and East Germany was established. After enduring the ravages of war, the Brandenburg Gate finally had a chance to breathe, but its misfortune was not over. 16 years later, another disaster struck. Between 1956 and 1958, experts restored the Brandenburg Gate, including recasting the sculptures. However, a few years later, the gate became a symbol of division rather than unity when the Berlin Wall was built, splitting Berlin into East and West Berlin. The Brandenburg Gate stood on the extension of the Berlin Wall, and the military sealed it with thick iron cables and plates, and strung barbed wire at both ends to prevent people from approaching. For over 20 years, Germans stood outside the Berlin Wall, crying for unity and longing to see their loved ones again, but the Brandenburg Gate remained helpless. On the last day of 1989, the Berlin Wall was finally torn down, and the Brandenburg Gate was reopened. 2 years later, the sculptures were fully restored, returning the gate to its former glory. Today, the Brandenburg Gate, with its grand presence, welcomes visitors from all over the world. The scars of past wars seem invisible, and people silently pray that the gate will no longer suffer misfortune and will continue to stand proudly.